Patty and I are here at the Long Mountain Wayside at the very beginning of our Appalachian Trail adventure. If all goes well, we'll have something to talk about.
Oh, you're videoing.
The start of our hike was up Bald Knob Mountain, a climb of about 2,000 feet. The trail was good, often fairly steep, and got us loosened up towards the day's work.
We're almost at the top of Bald Knob. So we finished lunch on the top of Bald Knob, which is not actually bald. Our first 4,000 footer of the adventure, and away we go.
Next stop, Coal Mountain.
We're at the summit of Coal Mountain. It's a beautiful day.
Coal Mountain gave us great views in all directions.
We just passed Coal Mountain, our second summit of the day. 2 kilometers.
We hiked down Coal Mountain to Hog Camp Gap, which was a great place to spend the night. We set up our Z-Packs tent for the first time, which went well. It was a nice, sheltered, open field. And so ended day one. Hogs Camp Gap seems to be popular with the locals, and a number of people camped there as well as us. And the next morning, we were greeted by one of our neighbors with a little bit of Virginia sunshine.
So here we are, it's 10:20 in the morning, the start of our second day of our adventure. Here we are, probably about an hour into our second day of our hike. Beautiful vista here. I'm not sure what the name of this place is, but it's just absolutely gorgeous.
I love the views in Virginia where you can look out and see ranges of mountains after mountains. Reminds us of being in Maine on Mount Chase, looking towards Mount Katahdin.
Patty's naturally a quicker walker than I am. The trail so far today is looking just like this. Quite easy passage.
Our destination today is Seeley Woodworth Shelter.
We came across this fellow about an hour ago on the trail. He was very thirsty, and we gave him a protein bar. He seems to be okay. He's got a collar on. He's the same fellow who woke us up at 4 o'clock at our campsite and also woke up our neighbors. So we're on the trail and he's following us. Not sure what's going to happen next. Here we are about 4 kilometers south of Seeley Woodworth Shelter. And we've just gone off the trail, just a little bit, taking our packs off, which feels good, and catching this nice vista on top of a rock.
Our newfound friend is still with us while we take a break.
Here's Patty fording a little stream we've come across. Thirsty boy, Blaze?
As you can see, our friend, who we've nicknamed Blaze after the marks on the trees which mark the Appalachian Trail, is still with us as the trail gets a little more elevation, a little rougher. And we finally arrive at the shelter. This is our first section hike, and we were very fortunate to meet Steve and Larry, who started hiking this morning at Hog Camp Gap, and who we ended up spending the entire time with. They're very experienced hikers, and we learned a lot from them.
We're hiking in the rain.
Yes.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah. We started about 10 after 9, left the shelter. It's been raining like this since before we got up, and we're carrying on. Our fellow hikers are behind us. Our destination today is the Priest Shelter. So we just stopped for a drink of water. It's day 3 and we've been hiking for about an hour. Still raining, though we're dressed for it, so it's not uncomfortable. But it's really foggy, and I'm just showing you here how quickly Patty will go out of sight because of the fog.
Half a mile, I take it.
Spy Rock Road?
Yeah.
We're on Spy Rock Road.
Oh, you're doing it.
Am I supposed to be smiling?
You can smile if you want, you can frown if you want. And we're carrying on here. It's Larry and Steve. These are the good guys we spent at the shelter last night.
This is still way better than going to work.
Yes, way better than going to work. We're climbing up to Spy Rock, which is a bit more work than the hike we've done so far today. So we're up here at Spy Rock, which in different days apparently offers great views, but not today.
Here's your view.
And how tall did you say this mountain was?
3822.
3822. So
Now we go downhill.
yeah, which is always nice. We're up here, we've passed Spy Rock. Probably from here on another day there would be a good view. But not today. So we come to this clearing that seems to have rock a rock highway going down the mountain. And it seems to start here. Unfortunately, it's still raining. You can see my girl there, Patty, carrying on. Here we are at the edge of the Priest Wilderness, less than a kilometer to the shelter, and it'll come none too soon for us.
Yeah.
It's a little after 1 in the afternoon. It's still raining.
The last hour of our hike was straight up the Priest. We're almost to the top of the Priest, and it was quite a steep hike. We hiked in total for probably 5.5 hours, and without any break, didn't stop for lunch. And it was a difficult day because it rained all day, and at times there was sleet, and it was cold. But we're glad to have arrived, and when we arrived, there were 2 Guinness waiting for us as trail magic on the picnic table. For the record, we were too cold to drink the Guinness, and we left them for the next group of hikers. Here's our bear bag up the tree.
Hustle and bustle around the campsite here as we're getting packed up. It looks like a beautiful day. We're starting out our day just leaving the shelter. Unfortunately, it's uphill for the next stretch until we get to the top of the Priest.
Here's a bit of Patty's photographic artistry.
Here we are, we're not at the summit of the Priest, but getting close to it. And this is the view we came across. Isn't it something? And it's relatively clear today. We can see well into the distance there. And you can see we're above the clouds because we're close to 4,000 feet. Not there yet, but here's Patty lining up a picture of this beautiful vista we see here. It's a bit of a challenge to see between the branches, but worth the effort. Getting closer to the summit, and this is the other side of the mountain. Beautiful.
He's experienced hikers.
Well, we're up at the top of the Priest at 63 feet elevation.
Glad it's a dry day.
And
Very glad.
we're going downhill from here.
And
Way downhill.
and that's a good thing, right?
3,000 feet worth.
Yes.
It gets us to hamburgers and beer.
Yes. Excellent. Here we are, we're past the summit of the Priest and
Looking generally to the southeast.
looking to the southeast. I wouldn't have known that. And you can see we're well above the clouds. But it's a nice day. So we're taking a break. We're partway down the Priest, and here you can see Three Ridges Mountain. And once again, you can just see beautiful view, clouds. We're still above the clouds, it looks like. A gorgeous place. It's been nice going downhill the last hour or so. Walking through a nice sheltered part of the trail. Still on our way descending the Priest. Patty's just up ahead there. She's always ahead of me. She's a faster walker than I am. But that's good. It's nice going down. So after almost 4.5 hours of hiking, we've arrived at the parking lot at, I think it's Route 50. And we're going to take a break here and then cross the road and have some climbing to do to get to the next shelter.
Steve was the quickest hiker of the four of us, and he arrived at the parking lot early and was able to catch a nap on a rock.
We're just leaving the parking lot at Route 56, heading up, destination Harper's Creek Ferry. This very convenient bridge gets us across. I'm quite happy not to have to wade across. Patty and I, after a very long climb up from Harper's Creek, very long climb, steep climb, have reached the intersection where you can go where we're going to Harper's Creek, or you could take a longer route to the Moffin Field shelter. And we don't want to do that. We like the shorter route. It's a very warm day. It's almost
the
4.
shorter route is the Appalachian Trail.
Yes.
The white blaze.
And we've been hiking since 9 a.m. Only took a short break. It's 4 o'clock now, and we'll probably get to the shelter about 5 o'clock. And we'll enjoy our rest when we get there. So we're on our last stretch to Harper's Creek shelter, and this is the view that we have. Very nice. So we're here at Harper's Creek Shelter, and there are lots of people camping here. This only shows probably a third of the tents that are set up here. This is the shelter. We actually have a place in the shelter, which is kind of nice. And the shelter is very close to Harper's Creek, which is over here. So we don't have to go far for our water. And we were able to get a nice sponge bath when we arrived, which was greatly appreciated. Great spot here. But we got a tough day tomorrow, apparently. It's 10 to 7 on the last day of our hike. And campsites around. Some have some activity, some do not. Day 5, we're about to start. We had planned to start at 7:30. It's 7:45, so we're in good shape. And had a decent night's sleep. It wasn't cold last night. I think everybody was nice and warm. Campsite is coming to life. And we got to get moving. Not sure of the name of this mountain, but it's a very rough trail.
Rocks. Peak of the Three Ridges Trail.
I'll take your word on it, I wouldn't know the difference.
Well, it's a mountain, and it's up there.
Yeah, it's uphill and very rough trail.
My feet know no names.
It's too bad it's misty today, because I'm sure beyond that mist is a beautiful view.
All right, come on by.
Little caterpillar friend here, making his way. We're all excited. The sun is actually starting to come out, and it's going to burn off all of this fog.
What's that?
You promised that this fog's going to burn off.
As good as promises I can make. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there will be sun.
Yes, we'll be done tomorrow.
Well, there's that, and I can appreciate that. But
Yeah. Yeah, poor dog just wandering around.
What's your dog's name?
Her name's Clover.
Hey, Clover. Yeah, you look good.
Look, see?
You're going to be a movie star.
You're gonna be in a movie.
I like the pack name, Outward Town.
So we're at Flat Rock, right?
Or a Flat Top, I think it is.
Flat Top.
Maybe Flat Rock. But it ain't the top.
But it's not the top.
Sadly.
Smile, Patty. It's my girl. And this is the view. It's starting to burn off. It's a very steep section of the path. Don't know if you can see Patty up there. Very rocky. Have to be. We're across this stretch of the trail. We're up probably close to 3,000 feet, and just interesting rocks here. Sort of granite spire over there, not a very big one. And the trail goes over that way. Trail remains steep, and the mountain is still shrouded in mist. You can see up here, trail goes up in that direction, which is also up. From the top, maybe?
Yeah, thereabouts.
And trails remains rough. See a lot of rocks here, quite a few blowdowns, and the mountain remains shrouded in mist.
Camera.
So we got to the top of the mountain and we can't see a damn thing. We're at about 4,000 feet. I can't tell you exactly.
We did see a deer though.
But yeah, Patty and Steve said they saw a deer.
Out.
Your which?
My gorp fell out of its Ziploc bag. And
Yeah, first time I heard of Gorp was looking at the website, REI.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see.
Good old raisins and peanuts.
Good old raisins and peanuts. Yep. That lady that just passed us with the,
Dog?
no, the other one,
Mm-hmm.
it was our age. She's done the complete AT.
Awesome.
So here we're continuing to go down, and you can see beautiful rhododendrons, which are a welcome sight. Going down is generally easier, but trail has been good the last little stretch, but it looks like it's going to get rough for a while. Patty and I just stopped and took our rain layer off. You never quite know what the right call is. We're hoping it is. It's getting a little bit milder, but it's still misty.
Yeah, that way. No, you had it the other way. There we go.
Hey.
Big red button.
Yeah.
Get some picture taking going on here on the trail.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Climbing up B Mountain, which is the last summit, I think, on our hike. Tell us where we are, Steve.
Bees Mountain.
Bees Mountain. And about how tall is this mountain?
About
Like
this tall.
Oh yeah, a couple of smart guys here. Let me be more specific. Anybody know the elevation approximately?
Maybe
3,018 feet.
3,018 feet.
for us
And we have
Americans,
one
that
more to
is.
go, I guess you said?
Yes. We
What's-
go down, then up, then down to the car.
Yeah, and what's the one we're going up?
Meadow Mountain.
Meadow Mountain, which is smaller.
About the same. It's just more gradual.
Well, we like that.
Of course. Everybody likes that.
And of course, we're on top of the mountain and we can't see a damn thing because it remains misty.
There's been a couple good views that we didn't get to see on this
Yeah.
trip today.
Yes, it's unfortunate. But I'm glad to be out here.
Yep, me too.
We're just leaving the Three Ridges Wilderness. The trail has been quite friendly the last little while, just a gentle downhill. We've come across quite a few rhododendrons on this stretch, and it looks like the trail's friendly, at least for the next little ways. So here we are. We're near the Moppin something shelter, and this is a bear bag hanging place. You put your food bag up there. We've hung ours every night. I think I've shown you the pictures. So I'm just walking up here and see what this information is going to tell us. And tells us that we're by the Winfield shelter, which is nearby. We just passed B Mountain, and we're going to Reed's Gap. And there's a reminder that it's bear country, though we haven't seen any bears. And here's the road signs. Reed's Gap, which is where we're going, 1.6 miles, and that's where the beer is. We're on the final stretch. Here comes Patty.
Yay!
And Larry is back there. He'll be coming along shortly. We're at the summit of Meadow Mountain, which is marked here by a marker.
Patty's taking a picture of Mark.
Patty's taking a picture of Mark. I'm sure Mark doesn't look his best. It's still misty, but you can see a little bit of the countryside below. Not much, you probably can't see it in the video. And it's downhill from here to the parking lot, and then we're going to head to the brew pub for beer after we get cleaned up. So here we are, arriving at the end of our hike at the parking lot. Weary travelers that we are.
So we piled into Steve's car and took the short drive to Devil's Backbone Brewing Company, which operate a pub and dining facility. Great spot. We enjoyed a beer there and then got our camp set up because we spent the night there.
So we stayed at Devil's Backbone Camp, Brew Pub and Meadows, and you can see here it is quite the facility.
We got organized and went to a great supper with 3 fellows that were through hiking that we met. Enjoyed some great food and great stories, and it was just an outstanding way to finish our adventure. Thank you for sharing our adventure with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. We're going to be going on some other adventures. We're going trekking in Iceland, and then after that we're going to do the Tour de Mont Blanc in the Alps in Europe. So we'll be posting a bunch of videos related to that. So hope to see you again.